It's Monday, July 20th, and we have a lot of things to talk about. There's going to be storms firing off with Minnesota and Wisconsin today, and a major severe setup is taking place tomorrow. So let's get right into this forecast. Today, we have a level 3 out of 5 up by Wisconsin, Minnesota, Iowa, and top half of Illinois. We need to watch this weather because possible tornadoes, wind, and hail are all a threat. Now, the tornado threat is quite low, but it's not going to be impossible. If you're anywhere in that brown or green region, have weather alerts available and have a plan. Also, if you're in that black spot, have a plan and be prepared too because possible tornadoes can happen in that location. With the wind, now this is the main threat. Straight line winds are more damaging than tornadoes in some instances. If you get straight line winds 80 to 100 miles an hour, there's going to be knocked power lines, trees out, your electric's going to be out. So still, if your electric goes out, still have a plan, like a place that you can go to, or just have alerts. Like if you have to receive alerts, make sure you have alerts turned on. Because if your electric goes out, then you can't receive those alerts. So maybe have like a backup electricity thing or a National Weather Service radio. Now, with the hail risk, it's about a 10% chance, which, believe it or not, that's kind of high in weather. If you're in the yellow region, or with the black part in the yellow region, you need to stay focused because a lot of hail can happen today. Keep your cars parked under some shade or shelter or in a garage, and same thing with the brown, just keep an eye out for hail. Now, right now, storms are already firing across Minneapolis, parts of Iowa, Wisconsin, and it's going to head down into Illinois. When it heads down into Illinois, it's going to stop, but then there's going to be a round behind it that pushes through towards Indiana, Kentucky, the bottom half of Illinois. Then tomorrow we have to watch that other weather system forming in the Ohio Valley. Now, as far as Cape, which is basically just storm fill, right now it's high in some places, but if you're anywhere like near like the yellow zones or the orange, that's where your storm energy is the highest, which that can lead to tornadoes, supercells, damaging winds, and the hail threats. So right now it's not looking too bad. But as we go out throughout the day, it's going to increase. And then when the storms move down into Iowa, when they're still up there near Minneapolis, you better have your alerts ready because a supercell can fire up and a lot of damaging storms can happen. Now, tomorrow, we have an enhanced risk, again, 3 out of 5 on the scale, for parts of the Ohio Valley, Upper West Virginia, Pennsylvania, and tops of Virginia. This will probably be another severe day, but our main threats for this are, again, just wind and hail, but a few isolated tornadoes are possible. With the tornadoes, again, it's only a 5% chance, which is still, a chance for them. Anywhere in that brown region, a couple of spin-ups, isolated tornadoes are possible. Same thing with the green. If you live anywhere in those regions, have weather alerts prepared and have a plan. Now, with the wind, if you're anywhere in the red or pink, it's going to be bad. Like, the wind is going to be major straight line winds. There's going to be trees down. And this wind chance is absolutely huge. Like, we're talking about a 90% chance in the pink and about an 80% in the red for, straight line winds. Just very, very, very powerful winds. Now, as far as hail, in the yellow, again, it's about a 50-50 chance for it. And the brown, it's not a high chance, but it will happen in some areas. So again, if you live in any of those shaded regions, just park your car somewhere safe where it won't get damaged by the hail. So far as our storm system tomorrow, there's going to be storms starting near Indianapolis, the mid and southern part of Indiana. These are going to push through towards Cincinnati, and then there's some in northern Ohio that push through towards Pennsylvania. Now, these storms in Indianapolis, near Indianapolis, push out of Indiana into Cincinnati and parts of the Ohio Valley. Now, these storms are going to be very strong, especially if you're anywhere near like this pink, which obviously it's not going to be fully accurate because it's still a day away. But this is going to be pretty much accurate as possible. This is going to be about 3 p.m. when it arrives in the Ohio Valley. About 3 p.m., you're going to have some in the eastern parts of Ohio, some in the western parts of Pennsylvania, even some in the eastern parts and the northern parts. Some are even down there in New York. So any of those regions, again, just stay weather aware. Then the line forms at about 5 p.m., and this line pushes through Kentucky, Pennsylvania, Virginia, West Virginia, and it pushes all the way through, and then after that, it basically just dies out and heads off the East Coast. Now, as far as Cape tomorrow, it's going to be pretty high. If you're anywhere in the yellow, red, or orange spots, this is where the storm field is basically going to be the highest. The storm field is highest at about anywhere from 11 to 2, and this is when them storms start to ramp up across the Ohio Valley. So if anywhere I would expect to have a possible spin-up tornado around that time, anywhere in this region, like between Cincinnati east, parts near Louisville, parts of Indiana, the southern half, and some parts near northern Kentucky, near Maysville, Lexington, Louisville, I could see a couple of pop-up tornadoes there just because of all the storm field. As we move on, the storm field gets really increasing near Tennessee, and this is when those storms again form a line and push through the parts of Kentucky and Tennessee. Now, far as storm field over there in Pennsylvania, there's going to be a lot of strong storms and some storm field, but it can have enough, but it won't be as worrying far as like tornadoes as I think down near the Ohio Valley, Indianapolis, and Kentucky, because one, they just have a lot more storm field than places in Pennsylvania. Now down near Louisiana, the northern half of Florida, we have our Tropical Depression 2, which we most likely think will turn into a tropical storm either this evening or tonight or sometime early tomorrow. Now, far as temperatures for the next week, it's going to be very hot in the United States. Places like Lubbock, Dallas, Houston, Albuquerque, Phoenix, places like that, you're going to be in the hundreds. Also, the humidity is not going to help. Again, it's just a major heat dome. Places near Ohio, St. Louis, Kansas City, Oklahoma, I mean, it's just going to be really, really hot in those locations. So, really, don't go outside unless you have to. And if you do, stay hydrated. Have a place to get cool, like an AC. Maybe put like a cold towel around your neck. Well, that basically wraps up my forecast for today and tomorrow. If you live in any of those shaded regions, please be prepared to have weather alerts, get a safe place, have a plan. Also, again, right now, southern half of Minnesota, storms are firing off into Iowa and Wisconsin, so places like that already need to just be taking caution.